All right, guys, we are back for game number 2. Let's update those scores simultaneously. So Disco Tits took it down with the Abathur Samuro comp that looked well played and was executed almost to perfection. Obviously, there's a few things they can deal with a little bit better. Maybe not draft uh, so little wave clear alongside of the Samuro and Abathur, but it still worked out because they were able to execute people with the combination of Slug Hunter's Genji, Zabumafu's Samuro, and then the other guy's Muradin, locking them down. So we're going to pop on up next poll as well. And in case you didn't know what the stats were, it was a 6-2 in favor of, or 6-4. I just missed it. It was in favor of Disco, and well, people who were expecting that, well, you got it. You got yourselves the glory of that correct. Yes. And we're going to be throwing up the second poll of the series as well. So we have a Diablo and Alexstrasza banned on out. These are both very solid bans, especially on shrines. You can argue that Alexstrasza is better than Deck Arcane on this map, and I wouldn't disagree with you. I think that there's a strong case to be made. Now, White Mane, on the other hand, neither team have opted for her. And there we go. There's the White Mane that I was expecting. So we're going to have a Johanna Blaze White Mane. That's a lot of tank choices already taken. Diablo's gone, no Johanna, but they'll probably opt for Muradin very likely. With the Blaze also being the choice here, Urel is probably going to be banned this rotation, largely because of the fact that you probably don't want them to have the Urel, especially with a Thrall. Thrall could be played solo lane. He could be played in the 4-man. If he's played in the solo lane, then you don't need to ban the Urel. But it's a catch of like, are you going to actually have him in the solo lane? Because we're seeing a lot of teams opt to play essentially triple frontline, and Thrall could fill your frontliner, your third frontliner role between the Earthquake and Sunder, burst or slows. He has quite a few tools available. Now, Jimmy has been removed and Muradin has been removed. So they're going to opt to take the Tychus and the Garrosh. This is a pretty smart move on the side of Disco Tits, because at this point, Garrosh doesn't have the counter of the Tychus. You're not going to probably pick up Malthael just to try and counter the Garrosh. So you now have to think about what other choices do we have, and what heroes may or may not have percent damage to deal with them. And so they're going to pick up Amaya for the front line and Kel'Thas. Kel'Thas does have the ability to drop damage that is percent based from his Flame Strike. So this isn't too shabby of a pick. And this is arguably one of his better maps as well. And the final pickup is going to be Medivh. This is really spicy. Medivh pick definitely on point. We have and the Medivh is going to allow them to get into the back line, taunt real easily, and then pick up a kill on Kel'Thas. If they use it aggressively. If they use it defensively, they will pretty much never kill anyone. You have basically Medivh, who will drop a portal. Said portal will be used to prevent the Warden's Cage from keeping people locked in, as you can walk through and get to the other side scot-free. The same thing if you get the tether on you. You can just hop in a portal and walk on back. So it works either way. It's going to be very hard for them to kill anyone on the side of Disco, because Disco has Deckard. He'll root him and slow him. You have Garrosh, who can throw him away, and Medivh, who can also throw on a force of will to keep him protected. So all of these things will make it very, very difficult for adults with jobs to deal with. They do have quite a bit of damage. It's over time. It's not a lot of burst, I feel like, except for the Kel'Thas combo. So we're going to jump into game number 2, and we'll see if adults with jobs can swing things back into their favor. It looks like we're going to have a bit of a change here. We're going to have the other guy on the Thrall. We're going to have Slug Hunter playing the Tychus, Alarius on the Deckard Cain. We got Twa on the Garrosh, and finally, we're going to have Zabumafu on the Medivh, and that is going to be Disco Tits. On the other side, we got Randy on the Kel'Thas, Nats on the White Mane. We got Retro Funk on the Maiev, Murmurduke on the Johanna once again, and we have a whole party going on right now, and a little bit of lag there. And I Just Fizz going to finish off Slug Hunter as the Blaze, and that's going to be adults with jobs. If you wanted action, clearly this game's got it going in spades at this point. Now, Thrall is going to duke it out with I Just Fizz in the top lane. The jet propulsion not going to land, unfortunately. In the meantime, Zabumafu going to keep eyes on him. Does have the portal, will be tethered back just a little bit, as you can see. And taking a look at what we got here, we got the portal mastery, the dash, the Warbreaker, the Echo of the Elements, a Sapphire. And we got the Naisha's Memento, the Clemency, Neural Stim Pack, Hold Your Ground, and Mana Addict. So it's interesting that we see the Hold Your Ground. It's mostly to counter the Thrall, I assume, because Laws of Hope is usually still the go-to in a lot of scenarios. So they'll be able to clear this up really well, adults with jobs, with the Kel'Thas and Johanna combo. So mid Zabumafu, bot is a full 3-man, but they have 2 on top there. There's a lockdown. Not going to be able to get much out of this in the meantime. But Retro Funk and I Just Fizzed, well, they just blew up all over the other guy. And they're going to need a new guy to replace the other guy. This gives them a little bit of an edge here. I Just Fizz getting some structure damage, which is very helpful, especially if they can get the Punisher in this objective, because it's in the top. So Zab should be able to get this pretty easily, get those stacks, and not have to worry about losing anything, as it is a 1v1 scenario. We do have the other guy coming on in now, getting them stacks for the Echo of Elements, which is ultra important to properly solo lane as Thrall. On the other side, we're going to see a Blade Dance here. We got the High Inquisitor. We have Adhesive Petroleum, Eternal Retaliation, and Netherwind. I think the Gravity Lapse is a better talent overall, in my opinion, nowadays. What is it? For the Gravity Lapse, the cooldown reduction, I just had a blank on what the name of it is, but I think it's a better talent overall for Kel'Thas nowadays. There's the toss on back. Retrofunk going to jump on back in, but this is a 4v3 right now. We have Randy coming on in. Should be able to get some damage here, but White Mane already going down. But the triple stun from Randy and the big stun from I Just Fizz coming on in. They're still trying to hold this down, and they will actually back out. They lose a member, but they get themselves the camp. Oh, I Just Fizz trying to get Slug Hunter. Throw on back for I Just Fizz, and he's not going to be long for this world. And so they trade up beautifully 2 for nothing. And they also, well, they lose the camp, but it's not a big deal. So what advantage they did have, adults with jobs, kind of went down the drain. They just fed over 2 kills. And now they have to, get back in the flow of things. Now, this is going to definitely be an advantage for Retrofunk just taking it straight to the face. The minigun. There's the bomb going to spread. All that value from Randy's bombs. They are getting the love spread. The group hug is not what you want to do with Kelthos around you. So they have the better positioning. They do have the 7s. Bottom is still there and still pushing in for adults with jobs. We got the Iron Skin popping on up. The bomb is not on anyone. Gravity Lab's actually going to do pretty much nothing there as it misses completely. And a Slug Hunter going to try and get some more as well. Now that 7s have hit for both teams, we got ourselves Arcane Explosion quarterback into the fray. Ancestral Wrath and Emerald. Murmadu taking a lot of damage. We'll pop the Iron Skin. That beautiful combo! The Randy stun! And then I just fizzed. Oh my god! These guys are getting wrecked right now. Disco Tits getting absolutely censored. I mean, the combination was so on point. I mean, let's take a look at that again. We're going to have Murmaduke going in rather deep. He's going to pop the Iron Skin. But then we get the Gravity Lapse. We have a 4-man stun. We have the bomb spreading, the Flame Strike damage. And then Maiev just easy Qs all day long. My god, that was beautiful. Adults with jobs proven that their credentials for poning some noobs definitely on point. At this point, First Punisher will get a little bit more value. They do have 2 members in the lanes. We got Maiev and Blaze soaking it up. So all they're going to really get is the front wall. But they're also soaking themselves to 10 because all members of Disco are in the top lane, which is kind of unfortunate because normally what you want to do is match the XP. You might give up a little bit in terms of your structures, but giving up 2 lanes of soak all during that Punisher, not necessarily the most optimal thing. At the very least, giving up only 1 lane is what I would think you'd really want to go for. So having even someone like Medivh go and just safe soak a lane all while that's going on, or Randy, or Slug Hunter to go and do that. Someone should go and soak a little bit of the lane. So 10s have hit, and Adults with Jobs should be looking to be very aggressive now. They have the advantage for a smallish window. If they go a little too aggressive, Zabu Mavu will be able to get on out. He does get back into bird form. Good call. And Twa will be rotating down as well. So 10s for both teams. We will get the cage. We will have this. Is that Divine Reckoning? We are getting Divine Reckoning. So Divine Reckoning is an interesting choice for 2 reasons. It helps with clearing the actual shrine, and it also provides healing and damage. They're looking for the invade here. This is very ballsy. They are actually in a very good position overall to do it, but I Just Fizz cannot go and do it. Randy coming on in, will hit Slug Hunter. There's a Flame Strike on top of him. Odin will be popped, and we are going to see a fight for these bruisers. And stay a while and listen, but the Warden's cage coming out in as well, and the old man's being smacked in the face. Respect your elders. And they are getting damage all across the board. The bunker's being used. The toss on back onto Retrofunk. He will manage to get into the bunker, but Twa taking a lot of damage. And then we have Slug Hunter in the back, finishing him off with a grenade straight to Maiev's face. They do get the camp, but they burn through heroics like they're eating some candy. So it's a 1-for-0. Shaman's picked up, and are they going to get Nats went a completely different direction? Nats might be able to make it out. Does indeed make it out. And the Shaman camp is still up here, still delaying the waves. And, well, there's a lot of heroics, like I said, that were burnt here. We have Poly Bomb still up. We have Odin burnt. We have No Stay a While and Listen for another 10 seconds. Will be available for the next phase. But there is another bruiser camp that'll be marching on in. And they still have not dealt with this shaman. This shaman has been up so long that we now have an entire wave that has been pushed in for free. So taunt will be available. Almost everything will be available roughly the same time for both teams. They have a few less tools in their belt, as is right now, but it's roughly the same. Pushing the lane on up, a very nice job by Adults with Jobs, as you want to keep the vision and force them to fight in the wave. Odin now going to be popped on out. There's the Groundbreaker, not going to connect. We got the root, the Poly Bomb. Marmaduke's going to juke right back to ensure he doesn't get caught. But now the damage in response. We got the bunker. Stay a while and listen, but they'll be able to get on in. The Warden's cage, keeping Hilarious locked in. The other guy will go down, and Twa might be next. The stun into the taunt. But Twa will be going down regardless. The old man will have to walk on back. Slug Hunter trying to take down Marmaduke. But Randy's there to send Zabu Mafu back up into space with that gravity lapse. And they are now fighting 4v3. At this point, though, this is really hard. Randy is full life, but the rest of Adults with Jobs are rather low. They need to go back and tap, but they get themselves a Punisher even without the tap. And look at this value from the Shaman Camp. Shaman Camp's still pushing in. Another wave's coming with it. A Punisher's pushing mid. This is very scary for Disco. They have to contend with multiple different things. They don't even... Oh no! The tether is not going to actually pull back Twa, as he must have popped that Indomitable. The other guy getting really low. Top is still pushing on in. The lockdown is going to be enough to kill, and Twa will be going down, but the Poly Bomb will have Retrofunk going down in turn. No, he makes sure to juke it. Juking and jiving all day. Retrofunk, that's his way. And there's Stay a While and Listen, temporarily saving. Marmaduke getting low, will go down. The bunker being used. Punisher is down for the count. Ooh, I Just Fizz going back in. Now, top got almost the tower. Almost the tower. Not 100% value that you like to see. They take down the 4. Top is down. Mid is open. Or sorry, bot is opened up. But look at this. That is not what you want to see if you're Disco right now. All right, we're going to get the engage here. But they're not going to get much of anything out of that. We do have the... Oh, whoa, whoa! Hilarious walking very far forward. Twa looking for it. The other guy... There's the toss on back. They do have the bunker to turn onto the other guy. The Warden's cage. And the bomb has been blown up onto a Disco as they are falling one after the other. No force of will going to save you there, because you need a group force of will to save it. I Just Fizz coming on in hot. There's the group force of will, but the bunker is going to be able to tank this in the meantime. We're going to take a look at that once again. I mean, bottom picked up. They're turning on I Just Fizz, but then I Just Fizz and the beautiful, beautiful play from Retrofunk and capturing 3 members in there without any way to escape. They just drop all the damage on Disco. Basically, at this point, Disco Tits are going to have to rename themselves Panic at the Disco. So with this major advantage, they hit 16. They have Armored Assault here now, making it much harder to actually... Sorry, Bladed Armor, making it much harder to actually kill Maev. We have the Shared Punishment. The Palanta Slug Hunter. We got Marmaduke going on in deep. He will keep him locked down temporarily, and the Scroll will keep him parted. Stay a while and listen, being used defensively. Hilarious, taking a lot of damage from that Phoenix, and they will back on off for now. So Phoenix down, Blessed Shield still available, Warden's Cage coming up very soon, and they have a top Punisher. Alongside with that, the Shaman Camp's been pushed all the way in. They almost get that tower, but at this point, they want to take down the well. This well is very likely to be the difference maker for this top fight. But actually, now that I take a closer look, there's no way for them to fight. It's 15 versus 16. Still, making this a situation where it's way too far for them to hit 16 to successfully try to defend this. So at this point, they have to clear this as fast as they can to get as much advantage as they can. They should pick up this bruiser camp to get shamans pushing alongside with the Punisher, pushing alongside with the wave, and you're pretty much guaranteed a keep at that point. So Punisher is up. Mid is being shoved in by iJustFizz as much as possible. They'll be able to rotate on up, and all heroics are available for both teams. The bad news for them on the side of Disco is, well, this tower's almost down. They'll get through that. They'll be able to jump it over, but it's definitely going down, at least some of this. And so there's the jump, there's the force of will to keep them topped on off, and the root to keep them from aggressing very far forward. And there's the Phoenix finally coming on out to help them. Punisher's down to half life. Retrofunk looking for it. Will not be able to get it. There's a beautiful root. Twa looking for it. They do have the bunker. Not going to matter. But Nats is actually caught out temporarily, and they're going to have to back on off. Hilarious, though, getting chunked on down. And Randy, trying to dish out some damage, does get the shield activated, and they'll be trying to run away in the meantime. The Warden's cage coming on out, the taunt, and they just blew up the other guy. Slug Hunter getting pulled on in, Twa getting low, Zab going to be going down, and Retrofunk trying to take down multiple members, but will just jive right on out of there. And now with 3 members dead on the side of Disco, and only 1 on the side of Adults with Jobs, this keep is 100% going down. iJustFizz getting tossed on in. Not sure that's where you want to actually send him, because it makes it nice and easy for him to body block you out of your mind, Twa. There's the Indomitable. They're still looking for it. They should be able to get it. There's a beautiful stun from iJustFizz, and that is another kill, causing a major death, as this will stagger it for the next shrine. So at this point, they're trying to come in without Garage. This is crazy if they try to fight this. Oh, they're coming on in. Raven Gang, baby. Not going to matter, because this is going to be a full team wipe. Very likely to happen here. That bunker, stay a while and listen, not going to be good enough, because they just got themselves 2 easy kills. This is what happens when Adults with Jobs work overtime. They get angry, they get mad, and they smash. So bot lane being opened up for, well, just to push this on in, as they have a wave here. But really the best place to pull or go is to the mid lane, as that's where the next objective. Warden's cage coming on out, and there's the damage from Randy. We have, once again, the Phoenix into the Warden's cage, into the flame strikes, and the bomb being spread, and only Slug Hunter is here, but they do have a creep wave coming on in. There's another beautiful combo. They pull on into the flame strike. Well, Owen is going to be popped for nothing, and they take down another member. At this point, Disco is just running their faces into Adults with Jobs as if they were a brick wall, smashing as much as they can, but unsuccessful to say the least. We do have Stay a While and Listen available in a few seconds. There we go. They could delay it here. Bunker is available. Stay a While and Listen will actually take down 4 members temporarily here. Bunker is out. They only have Zab, but the other guy is coming on out. I don't believe they'll be able to save the day here. Oh, the AoE damage, though, might be able to do it. And they have taken a boatload of damage. White Mane is down. No Divine Reckoning. But Retrofunk is on the other side. Randy getting low. Will be tossed, but it's not going to matter, because Adults with Jobs will secure their future for their friends, their families, and their loved ones by keeping the job of playing Heroes of the Storm. So we're gonna go over to the match summary, and this was a completely different tale. This game, we had Randy dropping the big old bombs, hitting 59.9k there. Slug Hunter sliding on in just a little underneath there, not into your DMs, but into the damage. And finally, Zab hitting 48k, doing some work on the Medivh. Only 27k on the shielding, but every little bit helps, if you will. Especially when you take a look at the fact that pretty much Whitemane healed the combination of Deckard and Medivh combined. That's 80, 87, 88,000, 88.7k in versus 87,000. That's not what you want from two people who are stronger on the support side than necessarily the DPS side. Although I think the Medivh was executed overall pretty well, obviously getting all that damage, but it wasn't enough to really save the day there. We're going to see the Maiev, the Blaze, the Johanna all beating out Thrall, Deckard, and Karash. And this is not quite the same as the last game, where last time around, as I pointed out, Disco was on top of everything. I don't think I've seen games like that before, where pretty much no one competed. DPS losing to tanks in terms of total DPS. And this time around, well, they were able to do quite well indeed. Now, for the final tanking numbers, I just fizzed, actually out tanking everyone that game. 73.7k damage. Johanna losing out the tank war battle, but I just fizzed almost 2.5 times more XP soaked for adults with jobs. That's hella impressive. I mean, this is pretty nice soaking. You can't ask for much more there in the soak department. I mean, Maiev, Johanna, 3 members out soaking the rest of the team on the side of Disco Tits. So Siege, I just fizzed. Yeah, I mean, they just played that exceptionally well. Adults with jobs overall. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see. And Retrofunk wanted to go and do an interview. So I'll do